Afternoon, Your Excellencies, colleagues, friends, and all present today. Thank you for inviting me to say a few words. I'm very proud to celebrate today's International Human Rights Day and the HeartBased Group's book launch with you. I'm really sorry I cannot be there as I'm away for AICHR work. In my line of work as a lawyer and AICHR representative, I have received many complaints about workplace discrimination, bullying, harassment, and unfair treatment. It is a huge concern for the human rights community, and it saddens me to hear of these cases. Business and human rights are interdependent and interlinked. The UN Guiding Principle on Business and Human Rights expect businesses to not only acknowledge rights, but to respect and protect them. A business can have a positive or negative impact on human rights, and human rights are relevant, if not impactful, to every aspect of business. All of us have a role to play in promoting and protecting human rights in Malaysia. While we have seen great strides in corporate commitment to what businesses nowadays call diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, I want to remind ourselves that they are essentially based on human rights. It is based on the principles of non-discrimination, that no one should be discriminated based on grounds of gender, sex, national or social origin, social or other status, race, religion, age, language, political or other opinion, health status, physical or mental disability, property, and sexual orientation. Any corporate attempt to fudge or disguise DEI as anything other than about human rights and human rights accountability is misguided and will do a disservice to the movement. We should talk about human rights openly. My second message is that corporate commitment is useless if there's no corporate accountability. In our recent National Baseline Report on Business and Human Rights, we have called on the government and corporate Malaysia to implement mandatory DEI assessments and to report them in their sustainability reports. Remediation of human rights abuses or DEI abuses in the workplace should also be regularized and reported. Survivors of workplace discrimination, bullying, harassment, and unfair treatment should have effective access to remedies and adequate compensation, while perpetrators be called out and named and shamed. The third message is this: corporate Malaysia can already do something without waiting for the government. It is not an excuse to pass the buck to the government and say there's no law, therefore we do not need to do it now. We will hold businesses to global human rights standards, and companies are expected to meet these international standards. Corporate Malaysia can no longer pay lip service to human rights or take them just to tick their boxes. They must embrace and entrench human rights in their work culture and practices. Having read the HeartBased Group's DEI Handbook, I find it very useful and practical as a business toolkit for businesses in Malaysia. A DEI handbook like this provides an easy entry point for businesses to integrate DEI practices into their current policies procedures. I commend the handbook to all businesses. Happy International Human Rights Day, everyone. I wish you well. Thank you.